is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crews here telling me.
Welcome back. A toddler's trip to the home improvement store is going viral on TikTok.
Yeah, a one-year-old girl from Utah was caught on camera gushing over all the tools.
Look at this one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. The little girl named Kai was in awe of just about everything. The video has racked up more than 1.3 million views and counting.
Good stuff.
Yes.
That's it for Channel 2 News at 4.
The news at 5 begins in about 60 seconds. Thanks for joining us and stay with us.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 5.
We are following breaking news from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where media outlets are reporting a shooter has killed 6 people at the Molson Coors Brewing Company. Those local outlets are reporting that the suspected shooter is also dead.
The suspect reportedly a former employee. Molson Coors is the parent company of Miller Brewing. More than 100 officers are still at the scene, and it's very active right now. We've just confirmed executives from the company were here in Houston at the time of the shooting for a conference. Channel 2 anchor Jonathan Martinez is live with more now. Jonathan?
Yeah, guys, there are several employees in town right now for that Molson Coors 2020 convention. They are just behind us here at the GRB. Of course, after hearing news of what happened, though, most of the company leaders, including the CEO, is on a plane back to Milwaukee. As a result of what happened, this right here is some live pics out of Milwaukee as well. As a result of what happened, we're told today's afternoon meetings were canceled. However, there are some things still taking place inside the GRB for the employees in town for that convention. We're told during one of the afternoon meetings, the CEO made a brief statement to those in attendance saying that there had been a situation at one of the facilities in Milwaukee and that he was on his way out to be there in person. Just a short time ago, we did get a statement from Molson Coors, the company, and it reads, there's an active situation at our Milwaukee facility and we're working closely with the Milwaukee Police Department. Our top priority, of course, is our employees, and we will provide updates in conjunction with police as we are able to. We did talk to a couple of those people in attendance today who did not want to go on camera. They tell us that certainly changes the mood of today's convention. Their thoughts and prayers are with those affected by today's shooting. Our reporting live tonight from downtown, I'm Jonathan Martinez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Jonathan, thank you. Also developing right now, the threat of a coronavirus outbreak in the United States has Houstonians already preparing.
You'll recall it was the CDC just yesterday announcing the possibility of an outbreak. The president will speak at 5:30 about federal efforts that are underway. Now we are seeing what steps are being taken in the city of Houston, from families to major corporations.
We have live team coverage beginning with anchor Sion Rhodes, and Sion, long lines for respiratory masks here in Houston today.
That's right, Lauren, and doctors and state leaders are saying that it's a time now not to panic, but to prepare, but also make sure you know all the facts about what you're buying.
It's lots of demand.
People standing in line Wednesday at medical supply businesses.
I think there's nothing wrong with being safe and sorry.
Hoping to buy peace of mind.
Maybe I feel a little better.
It's unclear how effective N95 masks actually are.
But Dr. Michael Chang, an infectious disease specialist, says buyer beware.
If you are planning to go out in public or travel, more than likely the mask is not going to help you, whether it's an N95 or not.
Chang says right now the N95 masks are being recommended primarily for healthcare workers treating people infected with coronavirus.
If you're not a healthcare provider and you're not sick, do you need one?
Probably not. If you're just wearing it out in public, more than likely it's not going to help you very much. Number one, the N95 masks do need to fit properly. You can't have a lot of air gaps around them, and if they're not fitted well, they may not be effective. The other piece about masks, any kind of mask really, when you're talking about infection, is that you really do need to wear it like all the time. So really 100% of the time that you're anywhere, you need to be wearing the mask.
We've been working with the CDC from the very beginning of the outbreak over in China.
Governor Greg Abbott in Baytown today ahead of a briefing he plans to hold Thursday with state and federal health officials.
We will look for a very realistic assessment of what the danger is, about whether or not there really is an imminent danger.
The governor, though, saying the state is taking this very seriously. That is why he's called for that briefing tomorrow. Reporting live in the Med Center, Sion Rhodes, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Sion, thank you. It was yet another wild day on Wall Street. Traders started the morning optimistic with the Dow up several hundred points, but that didn't last. The fears of the virus's global economic impact caused the Dow to close down more than 120 points. Channel 2's Roseanne Aragon continuing our team coverage. She's taking a closer look at the potential economic impact an outbreak in the U.S. could have on the Houston area. Roseanne.
There is no doubt the effects of the coronavirus is far-reaching, affecting economies even here in Greater Houston. We spoke with local experts who tell us how. It's a virus that has the world on watch. The global death toll more than 2,700. But the toll on the economy, consumers, and travel is now just as certain.
We're seeing a lot of chaos in the marketplace. I think that was evidenced yesterday in the Dow.
Stock prices and the market dropped as optimistic investors grew weary of what is becoming a global economic impact. With 1,300 reported cases in South Korea, then more than 370 cases and 12 deaths in Italy, local experts say the virus's impact is being felt right here.
Companies are having to reestablish their risk management plans and diversify geographically what they do with suppliers and with their production facilities.
And in a city rich with international business and oil and gas, precautions for employees and shipments are in place. KPRC reached out to ExxonMobil, who stated it has implemented appropriate restrictions on China business travel with a 14-day work-from-home policy for individuals traveling from the Chinese mainland. One of many major companies, even Chevron, Costco, and Coca-Cola, who are reevaluating.
A lot of that international travel has stopped, right? So they're trying to do a lot more things remotely and through teleconferencing and so on and so forth.
While locally, Houston's Asia town is suffering from coronavirus rumors. Airports are also empty and markets still down, showing the power of perception.
When consumers are concerned, they don't spend.
And experts say the economic impact will also be felt in the later financial quarters. Reporting live downtown, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Roseanne, thank you. We have a wealth of helpful information for you and your family on click2houston.com. Our most read article of the day is about a local doctor talking about the type of mask that prevents the spread of the virus. We also take a look at which stores have them in stock.
And when it comes to the potential for coronavirus in Houston, Frank is here to explain how Houston's hot and humid weather in the coming months could actually help fight the virus.
Well, the first thing to understand is it's now called COVID-19 because it is a coronavirus, just like the common cold is a coronavirus, and so is the flu. And you know that the flus and the cold viruses that we get are more predominant when it's winter time. And when we get to spring and summer, we tend to see not as much of that. So that's the question. Will our hot and humid weather at least help as we fight COVID-19? So for more on it, click to Houston.com/weather. Humidity certainly does help. I also have a nice link talking about how warmer temperatures can help because viruses don't hold up in warm temperatures as well as in cold temperatures. So have a look at my blog. In the meantime, the wind advisory for another hour until 6 p.m. It is still so breezy out there. Triangle Energy Camera, sustained winds 24, 24, 21 in Brenham, 18 in Katy, 17 in Houston with gusts to near 30. You can see temperatures right there in the low 50s now. So we've been in the mid 50s. We're going to start tumbling through the 40s and the 30s. This is 11 o'clock tonight when we're right there, 30s and 40s. And as we continue through the morning hours, looking for a freeze line from Liberty to Bush, Tomball, Sugar Land, out toward Katy, Brenham, Columbus. It looks like a fairly long freeze in terms of 3 and 4 hours for outlying areas. We'll talk about just how long it lasts for most of us. A wonderful weekend's coming. Chamber of Commerce weekend is on the way. And then the next rain chance, all ahead in weather. Andy?
All right, Frank, thanks so much. Developing tonight, the Harris County District Attorney's Office says nearly 70 people may have been convicted because of false evidence, and now those convictions may be overturned.
The man to blame for the problem, former HPD officer Gerald Goins. He's one of the officers linked to the deadly botched raid in Southeast Houston last year. Channel 2's Bill Barajas is live downtown with the new developments now in this case. Bill?
District Attorney Kim Ogg says this is one of the worst corruption cases that she's ever seen, and this is the first step in gaining the public's trust back. Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg says this is just the beginning. 69 people convicted of crimes may soon have their cases overturned. They may also be entitled to money from the state for time served.
Our first targets were people who were already in jail, still serving time, current cases, and we're handling those.
Those targets, individuals arrested for the delivery of a controlled substance.
Our office is asking the judges in 69 cases to appoint lawyers for individuals who may have been wrongfully convicted by us based on what Goines, former HPD officer Gerald Goines, testified to or swore to when these individuals were convicted.
The DA's office says they have a total of 14,000 cases that need to be reviewed. The problem caused by former HPD narcotics officer Gerald Goines, who has been charged with murder and federal civil rights violations tied to the botched raid at a home on Harding Street in January of 2019.
I don't think there could be a more important or serious problem to fix in our justice system right now.
Earlier this month, the DA's office exonerated both Stephen and Otis Mallett. Both men were convicted on drug charges, largely on Goines' testimony.
Their wrongful convictions happened back in 2008. The 14,000 cases that we're looking at were limited to the last 5 years.
And again, the DA's office has about 14,000 cases they have to review. They're asking for patience as they try to right this wrong. And this just in, HPD has updated their policy as it relates to no-knock warrants. We'll have more on that tonight. Live in downtown, Bill Barajas, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
A warning for drivers tonight from the Houston Police Department, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, District Attorney's Office, and DPS. Be safe and stay prepared. Several law enforcement organizations held a press conference to warn residents of several upcoming events in the Houston area, most of which will have alcohol involved, including the Houston Rodeo. The area partners are teaming together to help combat drunk driving across the area and keep us safe.
Have a plan before you leave your house. If you don't, you're going to make a poor decision. And if you decide to make that decision, the best case scenario is that you see one of these men and women in front of you arresting you for DWI.
Officials were there when more than 535 DWI arrests were made during the rodeo. And a reminder, Harris County is always a no refusal area, meaning if you refuse to take a breathalyzer test, officers can request a search warrant for a blood alcohol test. Developing right now, deputies are looking for a man accused of taking videos of women as they were changing inside dressing rooms.
And detectives say the guy did this while he was out on bond on child pornography charges. Deputies say this happened to a woman at Houston Premium Outlets on the northwest side. She told her boyfriend, who then confronted the suspect, Jacoby Brown, and took his phone. Deputies say the boyfriend found not just videos of his girlfriend, but many videos and photos from dressing rooms, including girls who detectives think were as young as 12.
Brown ran off. He's also accused of filming women at other shopping centers, and deputies say he later remotely wiped his cell phone clean of all those photos and videos. But investigators know who he is, and tonight they want him off our streets. His original $2,500 bond for child porn has been revoked. If you've seen him, please call police. Taking a look at the roadways tonight, this is 288 at Southmore. A car fire is blocking 3 lanes there, and firefighters are just pulling onto the scene, so we'll keep you updated on that.
It is a camp that is breaking down barriers when it comes to providing a memorable experience. We are taking a look inside Camp for All.
Your eyes.
It's a place where children with special needs don't ever have to worry about a disability.
Yeah, it's a year-round camp where children can do all of the activities that they know and love. And tonight, we have a look at what awaits kids once they arrive to Camp for All.
Channel 2.
Today, we got to take a tour of Camp for All here in Washington County to see firsthand how it's changing the way people with special needs experience camp. Camp for All is literally a camp for all. A place children and even adults with special needs can enjoy camp year-round without any barriers.
to. Campers can go anywhere. Campers can do anything.
Pat Sorrells is the camp's president and CEO. Sorrells says they get 11,000 campers each year, and it's free to families. The camp splits the $1,000 per person cost with its 65 partnering organizations.
Campers come here and discover what they can do as opposed to out in the real world what they can't do. It is life-changing for all of them.
The camp sits on 206 acres where there's no shortage of activities.
And they get to do things that they don't get to do anywhere else.
Kurt Podesqua is the camp's director. He's seen the confidence campers gain during their short stay.
So the first time they come to camp, they have a little apprehension, right? They don't know what's going to go. Some of them, they go to places and they don't get to do anything. And so they think, oh, well, I'm just coming here and I'll get to watch everybody do activities. And then they get to come and do the activities.
The facility is entirely wheelchair accessible.
I can take it off the rack myself.
From creating their own newscasts to rock climbing.
We can put them in the specialized equipment, lower the zip line down, raise it back up, take them to the top, and they can zip line.
Camp for All is more than a camp. It's a place people living with disabilities can also gain a sense of confidence and growth. In Burton, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Looks like a great time. We have detailed information about Camp for All, including how parents can get their kids enrolled on our website at click2houston.com.
Some wonderful memories being made.
Oh,
today.
absolutely.
Wow.
You can tell they're having a ball.
Have you ever zip-lined?
Yes.
No.
Have you? Me,
Just
I'm with
on
you.
a little one. We have a small one in our backyard.
When you were like 7, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We have one right now in our backyard.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
coming
a small
over.
one. It's not like a real one.
Where did you do
Zipline
it?
party
Like
at her
Mexico or
house.
somewhere?
I did it for a story, you know, reporter involvement.
There you go. Glad you're still here to tell us about
Yeah.
it. Okay.
You didn't let go.
Look at this. I love this shot. The beach and the clouds both look like they're married there together.
Yeah.
Isn't that fabulous shot? Thanks for that click to. That's down in Freeport today. In the meantime, highs came in right there, the upper 50s, 57, 59. Galveston made it to 60 degrees. Not bad. It's still windy out there. Beautiful sky, though. I tell you, tomorrow's going to be Chamber of Commerce. We're going to get the winds out of here. We're going to start warming things up, but we just got to get there. It's still north wind at 18 miles an hour. Down in Galveston, look how pretty that is. There's a low water advisory just because everything's being pushed out by this north wind right now at 24 miles per hour. 55, a lot of sunshine, 42% the humidity. Finally got a 40 on the board. Just came in Navasota, 49 degrees. So we're getting there slowly but surely. 50s are going to drop as soon as that sun drops into the 40s, I think pretty fast. And the dew point's in the 20s. It gives you an idea of just how dry the area is, dry air. It's easy to heat up. It's also easy to cool down. And that's exactly what we're going to do is cool it down once the winds, if the winds really start to fall apart. Right now, they're at 17, 18, 21 miles an hour and gusting to 26, 24, 35 for Sugar Land, Hobby, 33 in Anahuac and Pearland. So there's still a strong wind out there. The forecast is for these strong winds to continue to crater as we get to 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So then we've got single-digit numbers at 10. And then we go into the overnight and we get low single-digit numbers. But 3, 4 miles an hour still, they're still holding up a little bit. Will that be enough to mix that warm air from today, technically speaking, warm air from today into the cold air? Probably for a lot of folks, but I think still a light freeze is certainly a good bet. This is 9 o'clock when we're in the 40s and we continue to go right on down to 3 o'clock. Showing a freeze line from Cleveland to Huntsville and then out west. So you're looking at a 3 to 4 hour freeze. That freeze line comes into town once we get to 7, 32 at Bush, 30 at Liberty, 31 out toward Tomball, Katy, Sugar Land, Pearland at 32, Angleton 31. But that's only a 1 to 2 hour freeze. It's a light freeze, protect any tender vegetation, certainly take care of people and pets. And then we go right back to about 50 degrees by noon. High tomorrow, I think we're looking at 60 for most of us under a lot of sunshine. Pretty Chamber of Commerce. It's been a mess up in the Ohio Valley, a lot of snow up there. This high continues to move into the Gulf, and as it does, it will return a nice southerly flow as we get into the weekend. So it gets warmer and warmer. May see a little more cloud cover on Sunday, but all in all, a really nice weekend is in store for us. In the meantime, we don't look for much rain until next week, and right now it's just 20, 30% chance for Tuesday. So the barbecue cook-off tomorrow, great weather. Go Texan Day is on Friday. The Dynamo play, the Sabercats play, all in great shape. The Rodeo parade couldn't ask for better. We get into that rain chance just as we warm up to 78. That takes us back down to the 60s and 40s. And then as we head into a week from Saturday, March the 7th into March the 8th, that's when we change the clocks back an hour, so we lose that hour, I'm afraid. We spring forward, so we don't get as much sleep, but we get the sunshine coming back. That's a good thing.
Oh, that is a good thing
Yep.
in the evenings.
That's right.
All right, Frank, thank you.
All right.
Up next at 5, what the CDC says about coronavirus prevention methods and the recommended facial hair for guys if you're going to be wearing one of those masks. As the coronavirus spreads, many airlines are restricting travel in affected countries. Delta Airlines is now cutting flights to South Korea, where over 1,200 cases and 11 deaths have been reported. The airline reduced the number of flights from 28 per week to just 5. Delta, United, and American Airlines have already suspended all flights to and from mainland China and Hong Kong. And as people around the world try to protect themselves from the virus, the CDC has some suggestions.
Federal health officials say facial hair may pose a threat to the effectiveness of those facial masks. Masks and respirators are the most common barriers that are being used. The CDC says anything from stubble to thicker beards and mutton chops are likely to interfere. That's because those styles may keep the mask's exhalation valve from working properly. So what kind of facial hair is safe? Hair that won't cross the respirator sealing surface around the nose or mouth, like a soul patch or the walrus or even the Zorro mustache. Yes, all of this coming directly from the CDC.
Now we know.
Now you know.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
Stay with us.
Good evening, I'm Dominique Saxa in the newsroom. Here's what's coming up on Channel 2 News at 6 o'clock today. Only on 2 tonight, money stolen. Hundreds of thousands of dollars missing from a local soccer club for children, who's now facing charges. And the coronavirus crisis, is it having an economic impact on Houston? And another successful teen heart screening. You're going to hear from parents grateful for this free event that could save their child's life. These stories and a lot more at the top of the hour on Channel 2 News at 6. Back to you.
An important event there, Dominique. Thank you.
Another cold night on tap.
It's going to be a cold night. Cold and colder. Speaking of colds, I talk about the coronavirus. So, again, we talked about that at the top of the hour, but click to Houston.com/weather for that weather blog. You might learn a little bit. In the meantime, Power Planner takes us through the 40s at 9 o'clock to the 30s overnight. Look for some freezing numbers to wake up to at 32, but a great weekend ahead. Yeah.
Looks good. Frank, thank you. And thank you for joining us. Nightly News is next.
We'll see you at 6.